Hi, my name is Alosha Linov. I have turned my home from a consumer of water into a producer of water. I'm getting 7 uses from one water source. Harvesting my own water in the ground and in all the water storage containers. I'm filtering it with my biochar filtration. I've plumbed it into the house so all the faucets can use that filtered water that's actually backed up by my pool. So I'm using my pool as a reservoir. And thereafter the water goes to a constructed wetland such as this, which treats my bath and shower and toilet waste into pristine, clean water that is used for garden irrigation and flushing of loos. Whilst we're here, this is one of my pool wetlands. It is beautiful. I've got frogs, I've got butterflies, I've even got some edible plants growing in this pool wetland. The water travels all the way around and dumps back into the pool. This wetland allowed me to go from a chlorine pool and turn it into an eco pond, which now I'm actually drinking my pool water in the midst of Johannesburg, one of the dirtiest cities. We are so blessed. We've got an abundance of water and I have to share this with you. Here's another wetland that also assists in treatment of my pool water. We've just recently did some installations, so the water is still a bit green, but it will settle and it's super clean. I can even drink it. There's not many people that can say they can drink their pool water. Could you drink some of your pool water? I can. I have 120,000 liters of water that I can drink. Look, we do treat it with a biochar filter, and my pool water through a biochar filter is 200 times better than your tap water. Let me show you the biochar filter. This piping cleans city rain or an eco pool into natural, pristine spring water at a rate of 300 liters per day. This was one weekend, 4 people, and we whipped it up. Gravel, sand, biochar, clean water. The 16,000 liter tank is plumbed to the biochar filter, and the biochar filter is plumbed to the pump. And here is a pump that takes in the biochar filtered water and pressurizes it to all the taps. Here's a municipal disconnect. I'm able to turn off the government water and switch on my own pump. And here's my kitchen grease trap. It's able to take out the pieces from the kitchen sink and send clean water passively irrigating my garden. Here is another really awesome feature. I've got this massive 200 square meter pavement, and these 4 pipes, 110 mil, allow me to take this water to various parts of the garden. One of them fills up an aquaponics pond, one of them blasts out the wetland, one of them recharges the ground aquifers, which nobody's doing. People are just sucking up from the aquifers, which is a limited resource. It takes millions of years to restore. And all those folk in Cape Town that are tapping in boreholes, they do not know what's coming for them in the next 20 years. It's all going to dry up. It's not a solution. Solution is to harvest what comes down from the sky, filter it, use it, reuse it, reuse it, reuse it, and then reuse it again. So we do not let any wastewater go into our municipalities because they're actually not dealing with it. They're sending it up to our rivers. 8 billion liters of sewage is traveling into our rivers every single day. This is how we should be managing water, really on our properties, dealing with it as it comes, because it is very much manageable on an individual scale. When it's 10 million homes with a big pipe, God knows where, our governments cannot deal with it. Things break, things are rotten, the pipes are made of steel, they're all eroding. It's just not working. We should be managing the water on our properties, and that is what our Creator intended for us to do from the beginning of time. So here are 3 types of wetlands: a brick one, a sandbag one, and the one that uses a flow bin that's sunken in. I've diverted all of my bath, shower and sink water away from the sewage. I split it right here. I have directed it to a constructed wetland. This wetland treats all of my washing machine, which overflows to the main wetland, and then the main wetland overflows to a sump, which is a tank positioned lower than this, where a pump sits with a float switch. And as soon as the drum fills up, the float switch kicks in, tells the pump that it's full, and it pushes the water with sprinklers all over the garden and fills up that little silver tank right on top. And that silver tank is used to flush my toilet. Therefore, I flush my toilet and irrigate my entire organic vegetable garden with the same water that I have bathed in just yesterday. So that's how I'm looping the water over and over. let me show you what happens with sewage. All right, so here's my biogas digester that treats all my sewage. Let's test it out. Hope it don't go on fire. Look at that. It's the first time I'm seeing gas from my poo. That's just amazing. Look at that. This is working. I've got gas from my poo. Yes! And whilst we are by my biogas digester, here's the sewage pipe that's coming in. Digester is right here. And here's the start of a 14-meter long wetland that actually treats all of the sewage water from the biogas digester and turns the sewage waste into squeaky clean water that can be used for garden irrigation and back for flushing of loos. So the water is looped over and over again in the cycle within the garden. I will even show you how to construct this super cool earthwork which allows the water to travel through the spiral going all the way to the center. The earthwork is going to be filled with special medium which will allow the water to travel, and by the time we're finished the garden is going to look like all the same. You're not going to know even that there is anything happening here, but the magic of earthworks is going to allow all the water to drop in into the spiral, travel to the center, and the food forest garden that's going to grow here just going to explode. These are very clever permaculture earthworks, and we utilize and maximize the surface area by creating a spiral versus just a contour-line berm. So here's a really lovely sandbag water tank sitting at 16,000 liters, and it was a fraction of the price of a conventional plastic tank. And because of the mass walls and the thickness of the walls, this tank is actually keeping my water nice and cool, and it blends into the environment really well. I smacked it right against a flat brick wall. So this tank actually blends into the environment, and I've created lovely benches that I can enjoy an afternoon cup of tea. And I've got a planting bed right here which is going to grow loads of flowers. This is how we can integrate water storage beautifully into our home as well as our garden. Here just behind me is a ferro cement dome, and underneath the dome is 40,000 liter underground water tank that can be placed underneath your pavement, under your cars, or in my case, I'm actually building an entire home over it. We're gonna backfill it. There is a manhole that we can get in and out to maintain the pump and maintain the inside of the tank. We're gonna be backfilling it with a straight floor, and you're not even gonna know anything is there. 40,000 liters under your feet, underneath your cars, or even under your home. How cool is that? That's very clever utilization of space, especially for us folk in the cities that land is expensive and there is no space. Where do you put a 40,000 liter tank in the city? You smack it right underground. That's the way to do it. So here's a ferro cement water tank at 1/3 of the price of a conventional plastic tank, and it can store 10-15,000 liters at 1/3 of the price in a plastic one, with labor and all of the materials. And it also keeps the water cool, and it has a floor that slants in that you can blast out all the muck, whilst the outlet is slightly higher than the blast out valve. So you do not need to go on your knees with sponges and soaps cleaning up your tank. You can just blast it out. It's built professionally. No plastic tank in the world has this capability. As far as the rest of the garden goes, everything is terraced, composted, mulched heavily, and I'm changing all of my sprinkler irrigation to drip irrigation under mulch, because I'm finding with this layer of mulch, which is what you need in order to stop evaporation from the soil to take place, but with this layer of mulch, the sprinklers are just wetting the grass and not getting through to the soil. So drip under mulch is the way to go. It's a mistake I made, but we are going to be changing it over slowly. And also you make pathways. Everywhere you want to walk, you put little stepping stones, you fluff up your soil, and you do not walk anywhere else in your garden unless it's demarcated by a pathway or a stepping stone. Then you're allowing your garden to be the sponge, so it can suck up whatever the rain comes in. Any compaction causes hard surface runoff, meaning everything is just going to get off from the top of the soil, like off the duck's back. So if you want your soil to be absorbent, you fluff it up with sometimes even double digging methods up to 60 centimeters deep, just once off. And then you make your pathways, and then you, of course, you compost, and then you mulch everything, and then you plant everything off these stepping stones. You plant wherever you can reach. If you can't reach, you put a stepping stone. That's the only way that your garden is going to turn into a true sponge and absorb every single drop of rain or snow into the ground. This is the way we should be building our living environments.
Well, for the last 9 years, I have been traveling the world and attending live workshops with some of the top ecological experts of our planet. I have got my permaculture design certificate from one of the best teachers in the world, Jeff Lawton. I've traveled to Garbage Warrior, aka Mike Reynolds, in Taos, New Mexico, and have done a workshop on how to build constructed wetlands. With John Todd, I've studied the practicalities of ecosystems and wetlands. With Josh Kearns at Aqua Solutions, I've learned how to build biochar slow sand filters that are robust and powerful. We have run multiple workshops at this experimental secret garden, and together with our students, we've constructed biochar filters, constructed wetlands, and other simple, low-tech for the abundance of water experience. A lot of our students had fantastic reviews. Even newspapers and magazines have recognized my effort in sharing self-sustainability to our people. In our abundance of water training, I will teach you these as well as other ecosystems that are going to assist you to get your home completely off the water grid by utilizing organized, detailed video tutorials organized according to projects and lessons, so you can view it in the comfort of your home for the next 10 years. And best of all, we'll also include 10 bonuses that you can see on the page below. I'm not going to waste your time with all the bonuses, but the bonuses alone are going to make you thrive in creating your new eco-conscious lifestyle. Join me in our full Abundance of Water Masterclass, or a miniature version, just the wetlands, which will cover the pool, grey water, black water, and kitchen grease trap, all in a wetlands masterclass for a fraction of the price. Join me so we can turn your home into a producer of living water versus a consumer of water that's heavily reliant on government, which is actually at the moment cannot provide you with water. You must remember that should shit hit the fan and any more climate changes, we are stuffed. They're turning off the big tap, and then when you switch on your tap in the kitchen or anywhere, sorry buddy, there's nothing going to come out. Take water self-sufficiency into your own hands and stop reliant on authorities to provide you with toxic, chlorinated, fluoridated crap. Join me on our Abundance of Water Masterclass. Scroll below and hit that orange button and invest into your water, and I look forward to be seeing you on the inside. Namaste. Welcome to the School of Self-Sustainability. Hi, my name is Alosha Linov, and today I'm going to share with you simple projects that you can do around your garden and home that are guaranteed to save you thousands of liters of water that you can now use for your organic vegetable irrigation or flushing of loos. But before we do that, what does self-sustainability mean? It's the ability for your home and garden to look after you and your family by harvesting rain, harnessing sunlight, and growing your own food. One of the places that wastes a lot of water is your kitchen sink, and we can treat this water with a simple grease trap that will filter out the fats and bits and pieces so the water can go safely into your garden. The filtration of your water starts with this simple 5 Rand gadget, and all the bits and pieces you take out are excellent material for your compost. Are you ready to make your first eco project? A grease trap for the kitchen. Let's go! You will need a black plastic box. Then you'll need a basket that fits inside the box. 1 meter 50 ml white PVC pipe, 2 T-pieces, a female threaded white PVC joiner, a valve, a 40 ml tank connector, and then a 40 ml threaded elbow, a piece of 80% shade cloth, a recycled plastic plate, a drill with a 50mm circular cutter, 20mm circular cutter, flat screwdriver, a hacksaw, some fishing gut, black HDPE pipe so you can reach your tree or your garden with the water from the grease trap. The first thing you do is you take a handle off. This will allow you to drill a 50mm hole as high as possible. Then you drill the hole and make sure to put the drill at a slight angle as it will drive in easier into the plastic. Then you drill the hole on the opposite side, the height of the pen from the floor. And now you insert the tank connector into the box, making sure that the rubber washer is actually placed on the inside, and then you lock it up so this box becomes waterproof. Then you screw the female threaded elbow into this tank connector. After that, you insert the female white threaded piece onto the tank connector and connect a T-piece with another piece of pipe. Cut a piece of shade cloth 5 centimeters bigger than the bottom of your basket. Use the gut and connect all the 4 corners and the sides in between to the basket so it spreads it out nicely. Thereafter, you will need to create a plastic plate that fits into the box snug. Place the basket inside the box just after the plastic plate. When you're ready to position your inlet pipes, cut it roughly 2 centimeters higher than the inlet hole that you've cut out. After you've cut the pipe, you'll have all those burrs. Just run your finger all the way around and remove them easily. After that, you connect your T-piece onto that pipe. At the bottom of the T-piece, you connect a valve with a short piece of pipe and measure up the rest of the pipe that's needed to get that water straight to the drain. Insert your pipe into the inlet of the box and fit it snug into the T-piece. When you do the outlet, run the rest of the pipe towards your garden, and now it ends up looking just like this, ready to save you thousands of liters of water every single month. And always remember that you cannot send harsh chemicals down in your garden. So if anybody is using jig or bleach, make sure they turn the valve to on position, which will allow the chemicals to go into the drain, bypassing your garden. And when you're finished, you just turn the valve back to closed position, which sends the water into the grease trap. So now I've shown you a really easy way to save loads of water. Give it a bash. Welcome back. Now that you've learned how to recycle your kitchen water, we're going to be moving on to much bigger things. Upcycling your bath and shower water with a constructed wetland can save up to 18,000 liters of water every single month for the rest of your life. A constructed wetland. What's that, you may ask? Well, it's a garden in a barrel full of aquatic plants that take the soaps out of the water, so this wastewater can be used safely for garden irrigation or flushing of loos. Alright, let's get started. I'm so excited to be doing this with you. To build a constructed wetland, you'll need the following tools and equipment. A 1000 liter flow bin, 19mm size washed gravel, a wheelbarrow of sand, which is about 5 buckets, about 10 buckets of soil. It doesn't have to be any decent soil, just a normal garden soil that you dig out from your garden is just perfect, because your grey water is going to add nutrients to your plants and you're going to make them thrive. You will also need 1 meter of 110mm diameter pipe, 4 boards of about 70 centimeters high by 40 centimeters wide, 6 buckets of broken bricks or large pebbles. To wrap around your 4 boards, you will need some plastic, a simple shovel or spade. You will also need a drill with the same 50mm attachment that we used in our grease trap, a 20mm circular drill bit, 70 by 70 centimeter Bidum geotextile cloth, 20 centimeters or so of 50mm PVC pipe, a female threaded attachment. To start the job, you will cut 1 beam at a time, so at least 60 or 70 centimeters high. Or if you have a jigsaw, it will make your life much easier. Just remember to use a metal blade.
Once the cage is cut, remove it and then proceed by cutting into the drum. I've started by cutting from the top because it's easier to get in and continue going all the way around. Alternatively, you can use a standard wooden carpenter saw starting with one corner. Put 4 boards into the corner of the wetland. Then you'll wrap the plastic around the 4 boards and dump in 2 buckets of broken bricks or rocks. Put your 110mm pipe in one of the corners of your wetland. Measure at least 5 centimeters above the cut drum and cut the pipe at that point. Put the pipe on the floor, lock it with your 1 foot and drill in at least 15 holes all the way around with your 20mm circular cutter. Take your geotextile bottom cloth and you're going to wrap it all the way around, cupping the bottom of the pipe as well. You'll use some gut or string to tighten it all up together. The bottom cloth will stop the roots from going into the pipe and blocking it up completely. Once that piece is complete, stick it in one of the corners and using your 15mm circular cutter, cut a hole at least 20 centimeters below the top of the drum. Then you'd go and shovel in some gravel to the same height of the bricks, maybe a bit more. Then you'd add more bricks, more gravel, more bricks, more gravel, more bricks, more gravel, until you reach 2 centimeters above your outlet horizontal pipe. Put 5 centimeters of sand. The sand will make sure that the soil does not go into the gravel. Above the sand, you will put at least 10 centimeters of your garden soil all the way around and make sure that you top up the bricks to that height. Smooth the soil all around with your forearm so it's all at the same level. And now you're ready for your aquatic plants. Hey guys, stay tuned because just after the break we're going to look at all the aquatic plants that can be used in our constructed wetland to treat this water to perfection. Hey, welcome back! Now we're going to learn about all the aquatic plants that can be used in our constructed wetlands. The most important thing to remember is that these plants must love water because their roots are going to be submersed in the gravel. Your aquatic plants need sunlight in order to do all the treatment of the grey water. Therefore, it's very important where you position your wetland. So make sure this wetland gets at least 5 to 6 hours of full sunlight every day. On the south side, we want to be putting tall papyruses and all the tall aquatic plants so they don't shade other plants. And on the northern side, which is the front of your wetland, we'll be using shorter plants such as bulrushes and taros, as well as other short grassy looking things that don't cast too much shadow. So you've got this garden that's lower going to the south, which is much taller. We can even plant a sugar cane that you can munch on when it's grown to its full size. What the plants do is they send out roots in the gravel, and these roots, they take out the nutrients out of the soapy water. All the soaps and the dead skin particles are what causes the water to smell. So what the plants do, they use the soaps and the skin particles and all the nasties to suck them up so the plants thrive whilst making the water super clean so it can be used in your vegetable garden. So coupled with the root activity that helps to cleaning the water, the gravel and all the cavities in between all the little stones, beneficial microorganisms start living in the cavities and they also bust out all those nasties from the water, keeping it squeaky clean for your further use. Never store grey water in a tank as it will start to smell. Always use it day by day, every day. When the water from your bath drops into the bricks, it will exit through the 10 centimeter gap at the bottom and then it rises all the way to the top. And then we are taking that water from the bottom of our outlet, which creates a longer treatment path and cleaner water. Woohoo! I really hope you enjoyed yourself just as much as I did teaching you this beautiful
ecological systems.
If you would like to know what exactly you're going to learn at our Abundance of Water Masterclass, hit the movie next to it or the orange button below. And I look forward to be seeing you inside of our digital, theoretical and practical classroom so we can recreate all of these systems in your garden and home to create full water self-sufficiency. So you do not have to rely on any authorities to provide you with this vital resource.